What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a very cool replay for you guys to check out involving a really nice combo. I hadn't seen this one before, and it's one that gives you just a ton of just field presence and control over the board. Gives you a little bit of advantage, but you're able to potentially take a +2 into like a +4, and then obviously when you're at +4, the game's pretty much over at that point. It involves this card right here, Superancient Deepsea King Coelacanth, or as we just called it during the 5Ds era, Big Fish. I'll talk about this card in a hot second, but yeah, this gives you a really strong field of like double Tree Toad, and it has a lot of board pressure. Now I know some of you guys are like, come on Cap, stop hyping up Tree Toad, we got Tree Toad fatigue, too many Tree Toad videos. Don't worry, I won't post any more Tree Toad videos for at least a week. I just think it's crazy that I mean, me personally, in my opinion, I think that Tree Toad is going to be like probably the strongest card to come out of Invasion Vengeance, but I just think it's crazy to see how many people are prioritizing summoning this thing and how many like random decks you're seeing popping up just to kind of summon this one card. Like, I don't remember this happening in you, like, it doesn't happen that often. Maybe I think people tried it with like Cyber Dragon Infinity, you know, then people kind of realized, hey, you can summon it, but that was mainly off Ptolemaeus. Outside of that, it's kind of like Dino Mist and kind of like a Cyber Dragon thing. But you're really seeing people just build these crazy water decks, you know, not even counting like Paleozoic, which of course now they kind of prioritize summoning it, but you're seeing people build these crazy water decks just to be able to summon this card. Now, if you don't know about Big Fish, let me just give you a quick summary of the card. So in the second half of the 5Ds era, this card was basically the heart and soul of a deck called Fish OTK. And the deck was actually really good. It actually ended up getting second place out of YCS, and it was like a tier 1 deck. This was when like Samurai was the best deck in the game. It was right after they kind of nerfed Samurai. They took 3 Gateway Samurai, which was like basically tier 0, and they made it 1 Gateway Samurai, which was still the best deck in the game. But this deck was able to go like toe-to-toe with it in the finals. It almost won, and one of the way that they ended up hitting the deck was they didn't ban Big Fish like a lot of people were thinking that they were going to do, because this card was basically immune to Effect Veiler at the time, which was like a super good hand trap against like Kageki and, you know, other cards like that, because you contribute a card, and anything that targets this card, you can just basically negate that and destroy that card. But Konami basically made a ruling so that the Colossal Armory OTK doesn't work anymore. So they basically killed this card, or they basically killed this deck's playability, because, you know, this the monsters that you summon with Big Fish, they can't be, you know, they can't attack and they can't activate their effects, but obviously you could synchro with them then, and now you can exceed with them, so they're even better. So you guys watch how he summons Super Ancient Deep Sea Coelacanth. You can actually see it in his opening hand. It's really easy to see. So he has 7-star swords. He's gonna obviously banish it. Then it basically just goes for the DDR, and now he's able to activate the effect. And I mean, look at this, guys, like just that easy, right? And you've already got double Bahamut Shark, which double Bahamut Shark does mean double Tree Toad. And I mean, look at the final board. So obviously you start with 5 cards, right? You end up with 5 monsters on board, 2 in the hand, but like, it's not even just a terms of +1ing. It's a term of, or it's in terms of like how much board presence. Obviously, if your opponent doesn't summon anything, you have clearly an OTK. You know, you have over, this has got to be somewhere about 11, maybe 12,000 damage. Let's just say estimated at somewhere about 12,000 damage. But you just have to think, like, 2 of your opponent's cards that they try and activate, you can just literally negate those and take those cards. So, you know, you take 2 resources out of their opening hand, giving them 4 cards, but then you take your card, you take your board and make it even stronger by taking their cards and possibly using those cards against them. You can't Regeki this board because, you know, you Regeki me, I'm just gonna Regeki you back. So, you know, that doesn't work. So this is why I talk about how this is what I'm talking about when I say Tree Toad is just a super strong card. So he activates Melody, that gets negated. He takes the Melody. He's probably not even going to use it, but he just takes it so his opponent can't use it. Puts a card back in his hand, that just replaces. That's what's so dumb about Tree Toad, is that it takes a card your opponent has, negates it, so you get rid of that card, adds it to you, and fucking replaces itself all in it. Like, that's just so dumb. Tries to summon Manju. Once again, he just takes the Manju from his opponent, gives it to himself, and he gets to just add another card back to his hand if he wants. He decides to put a Tree Toad back in his extra so that he could summon another one, but the game's already over. This guy obviously couldn't do anything because he needed this card right here. He needed the man juice so that he could, potentially ritual summon, so he could grab another Chaos Max so he could summon it. He probably would have been able to, or probably would have liked to have been able to activate Melody so that he could have gotten like a Blue Eyes, so that he would have had some fodder to summon this guy. But when you get that, them Walking Solemn Judgments, man, none of those cards just matter. And, once you summon a board like this, you really don't have to use your hand at all. Like, Trito just becomes the win condition. So I just wanted to show this off because I hadn't seen anybody play Big Fish in years. This was popular in like probably 2010, 2011-ish. So it was a long time ago that people were playing Big Fish and Fish OTK. Also, that deck could totally summon Quasar. A lot of times people would try and side against the Colossal OTK or the Sea Lord 8800 OTK, and people would side into like Quasar. If you tried to make them go first, they could just summon like Quasar, set like a Solemn Warning, and you pretty much just lose that way. So anyways, just an interesting replay. I'm not going to give you guys any more Trito videos. I don't want to fatigue you guys to death. Just wanted to show this off. If you guys enjoyed the combo or the video, give the video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please do that as well.